The old man stumbled through the heart of a dense forest, his eyes darting nervously from tree to tree. The jagged branches clawed at his tattered clothes, leaving faint trails of blood in their wake. Every step he took sank him deeper into a state of terror and despair. He had lost his way, disoriented and haunted by the unfamiliar surroundings that seemed to close in on him with each passing moment. But it was not just the labyrinthine woods that troubled him. A primal instinct told him he was not alone. He could feel eyes upon him, unseen and malevolent. They watched him, patiently lurking in the shadows, like predators stalking their prey. And yet, they hadn't attacked him yet, leaving him to wallow in a torment of suspense, his mind teetering on the precipice of madness.
Foul beasts, reveal yourselves.
The old man bellowed into the silent forest, his voice a desperate mix of anger and fear. His cries echoed through the trees, his words bouncing back at him in eerie whispers that made his skin crawl. The woods answered his plea with an unsettling symphony of crackling twigs and rustling leaves. Each sound seemed to draw nearer, amplifying the torment of the old man's fragile psyche. He spun around wildly, his eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of his tormentors.
You won't break me. I am not your prey.
His voice tinged with the creeping edge of madness. But the shadows held their secrets, their whispers mingling with his own deranged ramblings. Hours turned to an eternity as the old man stumbled forward, his strength waning with each frantic step. His mind became a battleground, the line between reality and delusion blurring beyond recognition. He alternated between furious tirades, hurling insults and threats into the black void, and pitiful pleas for mercy.
Come on, you devils. Take me if you must. But I won't go down without a fight.
He screamed, his voice cracking with a mix of defiance and despair. Tears streamed down his weathered face, mingling with the dirt and sweat that coated his trembling body. As night descended upon the forest, the darkness deepened, devouring what little light remained. The old man's anguished cries were swallowed by the suffocating silence, leaving only the haunting symphony of the woods and his own ragged breaths. The old man's sanity teetered on the brink, his mind caught in a maelstrom of guilt and fear. He railed against the darkness, the abyss that stared back at him, questioning his creation, his ambitions. But in the depths of his despair, a sickening realization began to take hold.
You monsters born of my own hubris.
As the truth dawned on him, the forest seemed to come alive, the eerie hush shattered by the rustling of leaves and the distant growls of his hybrid progeny. The old man's heart pounded in his chest, a cacophony of dread drowning out his feeble protests. He stumbled forward, his steps guided by a morbid fascination, driven to face the culmination of his sins. The creatures closed in, their forms distorted, part human, part animal, a grotesque mockery of nature's boundaries. The boundary between predator and prey blurred, and the old man could no longer distinguish friend from foe. In a final act of defiance, the old man bellowed into the night, his voice both a plea for mercy and a challenge to his creations.
Come on. Let this be the reckoning we were destined for. End this torment.
The forest responded with a symphony of snarls and guttural cries. The hybrids surrounded him, their eyes gleaming with a sinister hunger. And then it happened. The first attack, a swift and savage strike. Fangs sank into flesh, tearing through sinew and bone, as the old man's agonized screams pierced the night. The forest came alive with the cacophony of his torment, blending with the triumphant roars of his assailants. They tore into his fragile flesh, rending apart the frailty of his existence, his screams merging with their triumphant roars. And as the last vestiges of life slipped away, a twisted smile played upon the old man. Dr. Moreau. In his final moments, he understood the cruel irony of his fate. He, the creator of abominations, had become the ultimate abomination himself, a puppet entangled in the strings of his own creation. As the forest reclaimed its stolen soul, the secrets of its depths remained buried, leaving only the chilling reminder that sometimes, in the darkest corners of the human mind, the true monsters are the ones we birth into existence. It is in the depths of our own fears, where the true horrors lie within.